I didn't want to marry him, but he was driving me crazy. You know, he wanted me to get married to him, and I thought the only way I can get away from that person is just to get out of this town and get lost. And his name was Marshall Cannon. And anyway, I told Ewing, let's go to. Oh, and we took him and said, we're going to take you kids to the show and drop you off, and we're going over to Dallas. And Ewing had some reason why we were going over there. I don't remember why. And so anyway, we took them because we didn't want anyone to know where we were going. I don't know why, we just didn't. We just we wanted to get lost, I guess. And I knew Marshall would follow me out here too if he found out where I was. And boy, you sure got me into a long story. Every night a day, Klondike Lou. Well, when they made it, it was Klondike Lou or Annie, Klondike Annie, and they released it just the reverse from
Okay, so when you came out to California, you got a job as an extra with Paramount
Paramount
Studios.
Paramount Studio, yeah. I worked there for about 3 years.
As an extra? That's pretty good.
You know, all you do is you just stand around, pretend you're talking like we are.
Call it atmosphere.
Yeah, and just laugh.
That must have been exciting, though. I mean, for a 23-year-old.
Yeah, it was. And the director that had me. So anyway, my girl chum liked to have a drink, and I used to say to her, "Oh, Ewing, you don't need a drink." Anyway, we went to a place there in Hollywood on. Can't remember the name of the street now, but anyway, we walked in there. Royal Walsh, the director, was sitting in there, and so happened she sit down right next to him, and I'm sitting over here, you know, and she ordered a drink, and the girl says, or fella, I don't remember if there was any girls who were serving or not, and what would you like? And I said, I don't want anything. And Ewing says, I'll give her a Coke. And anyway, I had a Coke. When the minute I opened my mouth, Royal Walsh looked around Ewing like this and says, you girls are from Texas? And I said,
And what was some of the movies that he's directed?
Oh, I can't remember right now what he was directing, but anyway, and I said, he was looking at me, you know, when he
Scarface.
looked around her, and I said, yeah, how'd you know? And he says, how'd I know? And he said, did you come out here to get in pictures? And I said, no, we didn't come out here to get in pictures. That kind of made me mad. I thought, smart ass. And anyway, he started talking to Ewing because I wouldn't talk to him after that. You know, I was a smart ass. And so he said, how about me having would you give me your telephone number? He says, I'd like to call you and I can give you some work at the studio. And I pretended I didn't even hear him, and Ewing said, oh, well, I have a paper here if you have a pen. And he said, sure. So she gave him our telephone number. So about 2 days later, when the landlady rang the buzzer, and I picked up the phone, and we lived on the second floor, and she says, Ollie, you're wanted on the phone. So I went down to the office, and this is Royal Walsh, the Paramount Studio. Could you be to work at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning? I said, oh, sure. And I thought, any day. So I went upstairs, and Ewing says, who was it? And I said, oh, Mr. Royal Walsh. She said, wanted to know if I could be at the studio at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. But I'm not about to go. And she said, oh, yes, you are, dearie. And she seen to it that I went to, and she went right up to the gate. We always said, there'll be a pass at the gate.
Remember what picture that was?
Klondike Lou.
Klondike Lou.
No, wait a minute. I think it was every night a day. The only thing I ever did see of myself in that picture was, and the only thing I ever said there was, number please. Number, please. I was a telephone operator, you know,
Uh-huh.
and I recognized my sleeve and my dress. But anyway, I got $10 a day. That was a lot of
Uh-huh.
money in those days,
Yeah.
you know, $10 a day. And
And you get to see your arm in pictures.
I got to see my arm in the picture and my dress. And then Klondike glue. Then I got more money. And I worked a lot longer in that picture. It took me quite a while. Mae West was in that. I used to get so tickled watching her. She'd get so tickled when they were doing a scene, so they'd have to take it 3 or 4 times, you know. Like, for instance, if this fellow had his arms around her and holding her, you know, close, she'd start laughing. And so then they'd have to cut. And then she was supposed to be saying something, or I guess, I don't know. I was pretty ignorant. And we just sit around like we were in a cocktail lounge, or we were at a party or something, standing in front of the fireplace. A bunch of us looking at each other, grinning and shaking our head, and working our lips, you know, and moving our hands around, you know. You know. And then Top of the Town. Top of the Town every night. Now that I was in the course line there.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I saw that picture twice, and I never couldn't. But Ewing spotted me right away. She was so mad at me when I told her. I said, I never did. She says, I don't know what's the matter with you. I guess I was just trying too hard to figure out which one of those girls were me, and because we're all dressed the same, you know.